in with Nerdette's Newsstand, and today was the second day of week 3 when it comes to the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial. We are into week 3. This was supposed to be the last week, but it doesn't look like that's probably going to happen. They haven't officially said yet that I know of, but it does look like it is going to spill over into next week. Now, today we did unfortunately lose Nick Wallace and his amazing job at live tweeting, so I had to use a mix from Sky News and then the transcript, which eventually did come out. It ended up being 82 pages long, so I used a mix of those to go through everything. But Amber is, again, on the witness stand and being questioned by Eleanor Law, who is representative of Johnny Depp. And weirdly enough, when it started, they immediately go into pronouns. Pronouns for I.O. Tillett-Wright, who will be on the stand later this week, but now goes by she, and was born a girl and then transitioned and went by he, but now Io is back to she. And as far as the pronouns they talked about in the beginning of the trial, because this isn't the first time this happened, she went by he then, but now it's she. So I don't know. What it feels like to me is Io is one of those trans trenders, right? Another person trivializing people who actually suffer from gender dysphoria. And Amber's done the same thing to people who actually suffer from domestic violence. So kind of feels like birds of a feather stick together. But we first go to this CCTV. Wow, I can't talk today. Apologize. Of Amber in the penthouse on May 22nd with no injuries. Then a second clip of Amber entering her flat with a concierge. Again, no injuries. The concierge's name was Cornelius Harrell, and he even said in a witness statement the day after, this alleged event happened, she had no injuries. So, she does go on and say, well, they're all wrong. The TV is wrong. It's not clear enough. She does at first actually deny that it's even her, and she does eventually realize that it was her, injury-free, but does not agree that there is no injury. So today, and I said this yesterday, the theme of the week is going to be caught you in a lie, and that's exactly what it is. We actually had some big, breakthroughs towards the end, but again, the theme was lies. So they also go through texts between her and Elon Musk. She said Johnny was always super jealous, and she never did cheat. Even the security guard that we saw last week, they were lying when they saw them together. They were lying when he said he gave Elon a parking spot and a key fob. That was Alejandro Romero. Yep, he was lying. So, more CCTV. There's quite a few of these of Amber and James Franco. Now, we have seen this before, but Amber said, James Franco walked up to her during this time when they're talking and said, oh my God, what happened to you? And what the fuck happened to your face? And they were not trying to hide him in the video. They were just talking discreetly. She also got caught in lies when it comes to the restraining order, saying she was petrified of Johnny, and stated after May 22nd that she did not contact him, but they had text after text of her repeatedly trying to contact him or getting in touch with Jerry Judge and saying, can you have Johnny call me? So she obviously, if she was petrified, she would have stayed away. But a letter was shown from Amber Heard's lawyer on May 24th, 2016, so it would have been 3 days after the last incident, asking for a divorce. Also state that there had been 3 instances of domestic violence in the last 6 months, but conveniently, Amber could not remember what the instances were, because her excuse was they happen so often. And this actually, it's gonna happen a few times, but the judge had to intervene and say if there was actually more than these 3 instances, they would have put it in the letter. So Amber says he's wrong. Now, she said that wasn't needed. The judge was wrong. Leading Mrs. Laws to finally say, you make things up on the spot. You make things up as you go along. This letter was deemed also as blackmail by Miss Laws because it stated how they, we're going to keep this out of the public. And, none of this domestic violence stuff would go out in the public if she got what she wants. So it's one of those situations where it's like, listen to me or I'll tell everyone you beat me, which she ended up doing anyways, but even so. And there's also more CCTV footage from May 23rd, 2016, with Amber, Whitney, and Rocky Pennington showing no bruises. But of course, Amber says they're there, right? So we go to more CCTV footage, and it is from the same day with Rocky and Laura Dearvenay. This time it is in color and close up. She is uninjured and bruise free. Again, the CCTV is a lie. So it's insane how much this woman can lie. So they go to a call where Amber says she was in a secret fight club. She mentions Depp losing his finger. She also mentions being violent. And Johnny did say, I had a jar of mineral spray thrown at my effing nose. Well, then Amber blamed her exact words. Stay with me here because she's crazy, right? Her words on Johnny, saying it was preposterous that, Depp says he's the victim. He severed his own finger. He surrounds himself with yes men. He was twice her size and beat her for 5 years. It doesn't get, this woman should write for Hollywood because she'd come up with some crazy stories. So they talk about Amber's 30th birthday party and about the text where Johnny says she threw haymakers at him. Amber didn't deny the text or, anything on the stand, but she was also asked about Poopgate, right? Which she, of course, said was a complete lie. Now, this one actually is the most amazing to me, how she turns it around on Johnny. So she blames it on her dog, Boo, right? And we've heard that all along. But she blames it on Boo and then says it's Johnny's fault Boo had an accident because when Boo was a puppy, she ate a bag of marijuana that was Johnny's and now has toilet training issues. She figures out a way to blame literally everything on Johnny. So we go to an audio about Johnny hitting Amber's toes in the door, right? He apologizes, and then we hear Amber say, I'm sorry, I remember hitting you in response. Sorry for hitting you with the door. So she not only admitted to hitting him with the door, but with her fist. Now, here we go again. She's going to turn it around on him. She said it was 100% self-defense. Johnny was high. He fell on the floor. He was incoherent. And because, he was messed up, it was her job to always take care of him, to always say sorry, to keep Johnny on track, or he would have gotten more mad and more violent at her. So all the words she says when she admits these things, she figures out a way to blame on Johnny. Miss Law finally does get sick of it again and says, anytime there's evidence of violence, you turn it around on Johnny. And then she looks at her and just says, this is what you do, isn't it? Well, yeah, that is exactly what she does. So we hear another audio of Amber admitting to throwing pots and pans. I bet you can guess what her answer is. Self-defense. So we go to a fight with Amber, and Whitney, and she said she was only violent in self-defense of her sister. But also, it was because she was afraid Johnny would push Whitney down the stairs. Now, this is something brand new. There's 2 brand new stories today, but this is ridiculous. She said she was afraid, Johnny would push Whitney down the stairs like he did Kate Moss. Now, Kate Moss and Johnny Depp dated a long time ago. They, from everything in the public, obviously we don't know what happens behind closed doors, but their relationship was fine. This was absolutely fake. This was absolutely a lie. She literally makes stuff up on the stand as she goes. So, Miss Law, calls her out on it. And again says, you're making stuff up as you go, because they have the 2016 deposition that they showed. She never ever mentions this story, never has mentioned Kate Moss before. And her excuse was she didn't have a chance. She didn't have enough time. There was too many lawyers in there. She couldn't get in what she said right. So, again, Ms. Law says, you're making this up as you go. And, adds things to your account, and to make them seem more detailed and more realistic. Of course, she denies it. So, they go on to show pictures of Keith Richards. And the night before, they had a fight that they called the Disco Bloodbath. Well, there's no bruise, there's no mark, even though she claims, he backhanded her so hard, blood splattered all over the wall. Amber basically is caught in lie after lie, but this lie is changing. Like, the date changed even from March 8th to March 22nd. And, she looks at the photo, and I'm showing you the photo, says her lip looks swollen. Obviously, we all know, the truth. We're not deranged. So, also, Amber does claim in her witness statement that Johnny lit a painting on fire. I covered this story last week because it was by her ex, Tasia Van Ree. Now, texts have come out of Whitney laughing at him changing the name to Tasia Van P as a joke. That neither one of them liked her. And Amber quickly changes her mind. She says it was a whole different painting and that they had numerous paintings and that it could have, been any one of them. More lies. Like, it literally never stopped. So we're going to go for the last incident here. A little bit of a graphic warning, but March 2015, the 3-day incident in Australia. Now, this is another one of those news stories I was telling you about. So, she did say on day 2, besides what we've discussed in the witness statements and have been discussed so far, that she alleges, and this is when the waterworks come out, right? She starts crying. He pulled her around, pushed her against the bar, glass was everywhere. She said she was naked, bent over the bar backwards, his hands around her neck, and she couldn't breathe. And, the whole time she's talking about this, those waterworks keep coming out. Yeah, it's not going to work this time. Well, she says she still has the scars on her hands and feet. Well, I have pictures from April. Now, this happened in March, right? March 3rd through 5th. If she has these scars and they're so bad, why in April were you completely fine? I mean, I wish they would have brought these pictures up in, the stand, but these are not very far after this incident, and she is completely fine. They do show photos of the cut she allegedly got that night, pictures she took herself in the bathroom, and they are straight cuts. Straight cuts. And that's usually a very big sign of self-harm. Well, guess what? She says, no, it wasn't self-harm. It was glass pieces, and they're not just straight, and Johnny's the self-harmer, not me. Right, okay. So, when asked about the long audio recording, it was 5 to 7 hours or something like that, Amber asked the judge if she could ask a question. She literally looked at him and wanted to ask a question. He told her no. He straight up told her no. That's not how this works. And that is the best thing, because how many times did, Eleanor Laws intervene? The judge intervened 3 or 4 times. That didn't happen. I've read the transcripts every single day from this trial. That did not happen with Johnny. They are not believing her. From the way this is going, besides some waterworks, she is getting caught in lie after lie. She's messing up dates. She's messing up actions. She's adding new things. It is absolutely insane. I've never, ever seen a person act this way. I cannot wait till she actually comes to justice for the fact that she is making real victims of domestic violence look like crazy people, and that is absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable, my God. Anyways, yeah, that was a wrap for today. Tomorrow she will be on the stand. Supposed to be till noontime. I have a feeling it will go all day, but even so, of course, I will have a video up for tomorrow. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you hit that like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this craziness, or if you know anyone that's ever been this crazy. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Paws, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskar, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content, and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.